Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free. Last year, the spark of the Great Revival was ignited. This 2026, the spark becomes a wildfire. Witness a bigger tour of Luzon 2026. 5 regions, 13 provinces, 14 grueling stages, local and international teams. 1 legendary title. Every pedal, every climb, straight to your screens. Catch the Tour of Luzon 2026 from April 29 to May 13 only on the Pilipinas Live app. Also available on One Sports and One Sports Plus.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays, talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, and syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free. Last year, the spark of the Great Revival was ignited. This 2026, the spark becomes a wildfire. Witness a bigger tour of Luzon 2026. 5 regions, 13 provinces, 14 grueling stages, local and international teams, one legendary title. Every pedal, every climb, straight to your screens. Catch the Tour of Luzon 2026 from April 29 to May 13 only on the Pilipinas Live app. Also available on One Sports and One Sports Plus.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays, talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Unang jump-ball pa lang nahuli ang gusto. PBA basketball, ginalingan ng gusto. Shoot, sabay sigaw, dribble tapos hataw. Hiyaw parang lindol, Pastor Peter ni Idol. Solid ang laban, malupit ang galawan. Solid ang punch, malakas ang hiyawan. Ang action ay walang hinto. Sa solid na laro. Solid ang laban, malupit ang galawan. Solid ang punch, malakas ang hiyawan. Ang action ay walang hinto. Sa solid na laro. Bumaba ang depensa, mabilis ang opensa.
Magandang araw sa lahat at isang mainit na hapon din. Lalo pa natin papainitin dito sa Ninoy Aquino Stadium kung saan magaganap ang inyong PBA Commissioner's Cup doubleheader on a Wednesday. Nagbalik si Benny Botray dito sa San Miguel Beermen. Nagbalik din ang kanilang winning ways. Of course, nakatulong niya doon si Marcio Lassiter who shot the lights out in that game against NLEX. Pero ngayon, nakaharang sa kanila sina Robert Upshaw and the Blackwater Bossing. Katulong niya, of course, Cedric Bearfield. They will be looking to righten and straighten their path as they are in dire need of wins as we head into the latter half of the elimination round nitong ating conference. We thank you for joining us here on RPTV. These two teams heading towards opposite directions and we're joining you right now. Jot Sulit, the Dean Kinito Henson. Mamaya po makakasama rin natin Miss Eileen Shi. Dean, magkaiba yung kwento nitong San Miguel at Blackwater at this point.
Both teams actually in separate directions. Yung Blackwater struggling to stay alive for a playoff spot. Record po nila is 1-6. But they have 5 more games to go. At ang San Miguel Beer naman, they're hoping to break into the top 4. They want to get that twice-a-beat advantage in the quarterfinals. Makikita po natin ang team standings. Blackwater is 1-6. They have lost their last 4 games. At ang San Miguel, right outside the top 4. But with a 4-4 record, with 4 more games to go, including this one, they're in a good situation, especially since, as you mentioned, John, Benny Botray is back in town.
Alam mo din, nung bago yung first game ni Benny Botray dito sa conference na to, San Miguel was in a dangerous position because they were tied 7th and 8th. Tabla sila ng Magnolia, but that was an important win they got over NLEX.
Very big win for San Miguel because, well, that was also the first game of Benny Botray back in town. At makikita po natin yung points of turnovers. That was +5 para sa kanila. It was a close contest. And points in the paint, +14 ang San Miguel. But in that particular game, San Miguel took 42.5% of their shots from 3 and 4. So that's a departure from what they've been doing this conference, where before this game, or even during this game in the computations for their average, they were shooting 31.1% from 3 and 4. So nagbago ngayon ang tema ng laro, ang point of attack ng San Miguel with Benny Boatwright back.
You're absolutely correct with the shift. Dahil nung first few games ng San Miguel team, they were relying heavily on their locals. Why not? They're back-to-back Philippine Cup champions. But with the addition of someone who has been proven in the PBA, nanalo ng kampyonato back in the 2024 Commissioner's Cup, pumunta talaga sila dito kay Benny as soon as he arrived.
Well, he gives a lot of outside presence for San Miguel Beer. Now, in that game, where he scored yet 41 points and grabbed 11 rebounds, he took 36% of the total shots ng San Miguel, and 51% of his shots came from 3 and 4. Basically, he made a living from the outside. And remember, Judd, in that game, he was struggling with a cough and colds, so he wasn't 100% health-wise, and he had just arrived. Actually, he arrived the previous Sunday. But, you know, Benny Boatwright, he's a veteran and he loves playing in the Philippines. Sabi nga niya, it's good to be back home.
And it really showed it dun sa unang laro niya. At mukhang komportable rin talaga yung mga kakampi niya, particularly those who were part of that 2024 championship team. Isa na dun, si Marcio Lassiter. Marcio did not have to adjust to the arrival of Boatwright dahil ang ganda agad ng pinakita. In fact, first half would have been a different story kung hindi pumutok si Lassiter doon.
Well, with Benny Boatwright, you know, he stretches the floor. He provides a lot of opportunities for the shooters like Lassiter and for inside operators like Jumar Fajardo to score. Now, si Lassiter, 16 points in that contest. Mind you, the first 5 games of this conference, ang average ni Lassiter was 7.4. But in the last 3 games, including this one, his average has bumped up to 17 points a game. So all in all, he's averaging in double figures in this conference, 11 points a game for Marcio.
Yeah, one of the best conferences in recent memory na nakikita natin kay Marcio. Now let's talk about Junmar Fajardo. Naturally, nag-a-adjust yung role ni Junmar kapag may malalaking imports. Now back in 2024, alongside Boatwright, Fajardo averaged 16 points per game. Dito, in their first game together in the current conference, medyo naging mababa yung production ni Junmar, pero double-double pa rin.
Well, konting adjustment lang on the part of not just Junmar, but the rest of the San Miguel Beermen. But out of 8 games, si Junmar Fajardo already has registered 6 double-doubles, so it's not bad. His performance is still way above par, even if he only scored 10 points in their last outing. Panalo naman sila.
And still in MVP form, etong si Junmar Fajardo. That's what makes San Miguel dangerous. For more on them, let's send it over to Miss Eileen Shi.
Jot and Dean, magandang hapon sa inyo. Aminado nga si Coach Leo Austrian that in their last game noong una, medyo kabado daw siya dahil parang hindi nagmimintes ang NLEX Road Warriors. Pero simula nang nag-shoot na si Benny Boatwright, as he says, nabuhayan daw siya ng loob. He saw a different approach from the locals because he noted that this is what they have been waiting for. Naging blessing in disguise pa that Junmar Fajardo was not present for 3 days during the preparations of their last game because it urged them to play small ball. But today, mas kinakailangan daw nila si Junmar to match up with Rob Opshaw under the paint. Kaya naman pinagpahinga siya ni Coach Leo in the days leading up to today because he will need all his might. Nagbiro pa nga si Junmar na para siyang magkakasakit kakaisip ng kanyang matchup. But they will have to see later if he will be able to play longer minutes. Pero ika nga ni Coach Leo, ang importante, lahat ay may energy to sustain this running game against Blackwater. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Eileen. Now we can cross over now to the side of Blackwater where this team, sabi mo nga kanina, talagang kailangan na makapag-ipon ulit ng panalo because they're in danger of missing the bus to the playoffs. Nung huli nilang laban, they lost by 70 to Phoenix.
Well, that was just the second game with Coach Pat Aquino at the helm. But yes, it wasn't a good loss for them. I'm saying not a good loss because they lost by 17 points, something that Coach Pat Aquino didn't want to happen. The previous game, they lost the TNT, but that was just by 5 points. But in this particular contest, I want to highlight something that is not on your screens. Yung bench points. That was a minus 37 for Blackwater. So kulang na kulang sila sa offensa from the second unit and even the third unit. That's something they need to address. As well as yung assist. At nakikita natin, that was a minus 13 for them in that contest.
You know what, Robert Opshaw, mula rin nung pumasok to, nag-iba rin yung takbo na itong Blackwater Bossing. And he's been a force, particularly in terms of putting up the points. Kaya lang siguro kailangan pa ng kaunting tulong. I mean, Opshaw, we were talking about this, Dean. He's a force inside and very far out.
You know, he's an enigma. And in that game against Phoenix, he scored 36 points, but only 2 points in the fourth quarter. Meaning to say, because of his heft, because of his weight, I'm not sure if he's able to last a 48-minute game. So he's got to be able to be consistent. He has to pace himself to make sure that down the stretch, he still has the energy and the gas to make a difference. Now, in that contest against Phoenix, he actually shot not bad from the free throw line. Oh, no, sorry, 67% from the free throw line. What I meant to say that he actually did very well from the 4-point distance. And in that particular game, he had 3 4-pointers scored in that contest.
Yun yung nagpapa-unicorn dito kay Upshaw. He's a big dude, but he can definitely shoot from outside. Now, Cedric Bearfield, siya yung nagpo-provide ng local scoring para sa Blackwater. And in that game against Phoenix, however, lahat ng scoring niya halos nanggaling in the first half. Pagdating ng second team, 1 point na lang. Kaya naiwan na yung Blackwater.
27 points for Bearfield in the first half, and that is a conference high para sa kanya. But only 1 point in the entire second half. So, when you've got Upshaw scoring only 2 points in the fourth quarter, and Bearfield scoring only 1 point in the entire second half, and that's a recipe for disaster para sa Blackwater. Kanya sila natalo because their top 2 scorers, Upshaw and Bearfield, just couldn't get it done when it mattered most in the second half.
We already mentioned na talaga nagdadala ng scoring ng Blackwater si Upshaw and si Bearfield. They've been needing other scorers from the team. Paul Zamar tried to provide it in that game against Phoenix, pero karamihan ng mga puntos na nakuha nila from Zamar were from the free throw line. Yes, he did have that 4-point shot. That's one of the rare field goals that he had. But they'll take any point that they can get right now.
That's right. You know, he's a veteran. He's 38 years old. He was a 4th-round draft choice back in 2012. But he did score 14 points in a game where Dalf Panopio did not play, Jet Mendoza did not play, RK Ilagan, he didn't naglaro. So obviously, Coach Patakino asking his players, especially his bench players, they've got to be able to deliver. They've got to be able to step up because kulang na kulang sila sa tao. And in this particular game, I think they're going to be introducing a new player just to fill up the gaps left by the injured players.
That's going to be interesting to see. And let's find out more about Blackwater. Balik natin kay Eileen.
Jonathan Dean, the shooting woes continue for Blackwater dahil back-to-back games na silang nahihirapan kumuha ng production from the 3-point line. Against TNT, they were 2 of 25. Tapos against Phoenix, mas lalang bumaba ito to 1 of 17. Kaya naman alarmed na si Coach Pat Aquino as he says it has been affecting their flow of the game. In his assessment, maraming possible factors, but it all just boils down to confidence. Dito daw sila kinulang. And with no legitimate point guard with Dalf, Arky, and Jed still out today, ang kinakailangan is for them to acknowledge what type of shots work. Majority of it has been under the paint, so all the more they would like to maximize that today with Rob Upshaw and the addition of CJ Austria, who prides himself as a skillful slasher. Back to you.
Yun yang madadagdag dito sa Blackwater, CJ Austria. Now will be playing his very first PBA game. You follow the collegiate career of this guy, Dean. You have a lot of inside notes on him, for sure.
Well, he's a tough defender, and he did play for LaSalle in one championship season. But, you know, he has big shoes to fill, and it's a big challenge para sa kanya. And Blackwater took over his contract from Titan. He was a 2nd-round draft choice last year. But let's see what Auster can do. But talking with Coach Patakino, ibibigyan niya ng pagkakataon to show what he can.
Well, now it's time to meet the starters from both teams.
It's the Commissioner's Cup of your PBA 50. Our first game for today features the San Miguel Beermen versus the Blackwater Bossing. Let us now meet the starters. First, for the San Miguel Beermen. Point guard from La Paz, Leyte, number 6, Chris Ross. Shooting guard from Bautista, Pangasinan, number 77, CJ Perez. Small forward from Santiago, Ilocos, number 13, Marshall Listener. Power forward is the Beermen's reinforcement, number 25, Benny Bilbright. And at center from Pinambuan, Cebu, number 15, June Fajardo. Coaching the Beermen is Leo Austria. And it's now time to meet the starters for the Blackwater Bossing. Point guard from Batangas, number 2, Cedric Beerfield. Shooting guard from Urdaneta, Pangasinan, number 10, BJ Andrade. Small forward from City of San Fernando, Pampanga, number 25, Christian David. Power forward from Siniloan, Laguna, number 1, Abu Dweller. And at center is the Bossing's reinforcement, number 55, Robert Upshaw III. Coaching the Bossing is Patrick Aquino. Game officials are Martin Montoya, Mike Rodeliza, Kenny Hadley, and Flores Solilon.
Your referees for this game, Montoya, Flordeliza, Haling, and Solon. Now the starters for these two teams, San Miguel of course will be starting with Twin Towers, Boatwright, and Fajardo. At dyan yung veteranong sina Ross, Perez, and Lassiter. Andrade will be joining Beerfield on the other side. Solid din yung frontcourt netong Blackwater team with David, Trapper, and Upshaw.
And no changes in the starting lineups of both teams from their previous game. Easy tap for Upshaw, and Blackwater has the first possession. Just looking at the bench of San Miguel, it looks like they're also short-handed. Trillano did not play the last game. I don't think he's available for this game as well, along with Jeron Ting.
And medyo naramdaman nila yung absence ni Trillano, especially in the first half when NLEX was shooting the lights out. Andrade tries to get past Perez.
A good idea in attacking the paint on that first possession of Blackwater.
CJ, it took him a while to get going. Actually, technically he never got going, but he did make that layup that sealed the win para sa San Miguel against NLEX.
That was a big one. And here's Blackwater with a steal. Chris Ross did not play the entire conference until the last game, but this is his second start of the conference for San Miguel. He provides them stability, leadership from the backcourt.
Perez will shoot. I know it's only the first minute, but these two teams have not been at their best in the opening minute of this ball game.
Well, that time Blackwater threw the ball away. Right idea to get the outlet, but Christian David was not up to getting that pass. CJ Perez bringing up the ball here.
In terms of matchups, Dean, are these what you expected? Si Trapper ang tumatawa kay Boatwright. On the other side naman, si Junmar ang nagsha-shadow kay Upshaw, even far out. Lassiter starts us off with the 3.
I think that kind of a matchup is what you expect because Boatwright plays the 4 position while Upshaw plays the 5 position. So you'll expect Fajardo and Upshaw to be battling it out, and there he is. But he has to get out of that sweet spot niya to get the ball.
Oh, look at Beerfield. Parang nagkapalit sila ng role ni Upshaw doon.
Upshaw likes to take the outside shot, and he will also draw Junmar out. And Junmar trying to return the favor, hindi lang niya na-pass kung tira sa labas.
Nagpalitan sila ng mintes. 3-2, San Miguel up by 1. David changes that narrative with a 3.
Big shot coming from David. That's a very good sign, very positive sign for David, who's been struggling with his offense, particularly from the three-point line.
Oh, look at Ross hitting his first attempt. That's a good sign.
Yeah, that really is a good sign. If you're Chris Ross, who didn't score a single point in his first game.
Tres na naman. If you remember din yung NLEX San Miguel, it started out as a shootout in the first quarter.
Here's Benny Boatwright.
Beerfield now dancing. Walang mapuntahan, labas kay Trapper, outside shot, that's too strong.
Trapper has been trying to shoot that three-pointer, but he's 0 out of 5, now 0 out of 6 for this conference.
Eto si Boatwright sa ilalim is fouled by Trapper.
Now notice that Boatwright is starting to come closer to the basket.
Eto, tingnan muna natin din. We were talking about three-point shots being knocked down. Ito, three-point shot hatid sa atin ng Arena Plus Sportsbook.
The first field goal for Chris Ross in this conference. Boatwright missing his first free throw.
And ngayon din, puntahan na natin yung Dean's List natin for this game.
Well, for San Miguel, una-una, they need to play transition defense because they're giving up too many fast break points. They're giving up too many turnover points. They're number 12 in fast break points allowed, and they're last place in terms of most turnover points allowed. I think San Miguel needs to also run the floor. They're number 4 in fast break points, and they want to leave Upshaw behind. Sa takbuhan, hindi mananalo si Upshaw. And then, of course, they need to trap the pick and roll. Upshaw is a big guy. If they run Bearfield and Upshaw on the pick and roll, it's going to end up with Bearfield trying to score.
Well, as you were mentioning, that hindi patagal ng San Miguel with the transition attack.
Exactly. Running the floor is what they need to do para maiwanan sa depensa si Upshaw.
Well, here now is Upshaw. Nahanap si Trapper sa ilalim. Scores over Junmar.
And that's something new that we're seeing. They're posting up Upshaw, and then he's looking to pass, not looking to score, because he's expected to be doubled. And that, you know, the space is wide open for Perez. And that's something that Coach Leo also likes to execute. You notice that space clearly wide open, and the reason is Boatwright is outside. He is able to stretch the floor because the defense has to expand or extend towards him.
And you know that when CJ is within around maybe 8 feet of the basket, delikado yan.
He's the number 1 slasher. Oh.
Sige, din ngayon puntahan naman natin yung Dean's List para sa Blackwater.
Well, for Blackwater, I think it's important that Blackwater decides how to defend Benny Boatwright. I'd rather have Benny Boatwright take the shots from the outside. You don't want him inside. Once he's inside, because of his mobility and his ability to slash, it's an easy 2 points all the time for him in the interior. So you try to influence him by playing him outside or making him take the outside shot. And finally, you need to box out. Oh, and also, you roll out the barrel. You know, I'm calling the big bus. Ito si Upshaw, the barrel. And if you roll out the barrel, you're going to get points. Remember, this guy averages about 7 free throw attempts a game. And Blackwater is number 2 in terms of free throw attempts. So this is a team that teams like to foul. Especially when you've got a big guy like Upshaw close to the basket. You'd rather foul him than get a dunk.
We haven't played 5 minutes yet, and I think we've already seen 3 air balls in this game. Isa pa doon, free throw.
Tama, no? Nakakagulat yun. But, you know, I think it'll just be a matter of time before both these teams settle down. Here we go, once more.
Ross thought about it. He let it fly, misses. Pero rebound naman kay Junmar. CJ ang susubok. He knew it was going to be a miss.
That's a couple of offensive rebounds now. And just as we were saying sa Dean's List natin, Blackwater needs to box out and prevent those second chance opportunities ng San Miguel. Ito, namigay sila ng 2 offensive rebounds, and the third opportunity to score, nakatira yung San Miguel. Ito na.
That's it. Upshaw likes to take.
Lumilipat na naman those angel wings of Upshaw. When he hits a 4, he flies.
That's a foul on Upshaw.
And Junmar Fajardo is outside of the playing court. Tumalsik.
Bihira natin masasabi yun, na tumalsik si Junmar. But ito yung sinasabi rin natin na 4-pointer ni Upshaw, which is gonna be crucial in pulling Junmar away from the paint.
Very clearly. And Upshaw knows that, Junmar knows that. And it's up to Coach Leo Austria making the adjustment. But you know, if you're Coach Leo, let him take the outside shot. Let him take the 4. By the way, he's shooting 33% from 4-point distance and 0% from 3. Oh, what a block.
Wasn't the best decision. Perez! He saved the day. Hindi nasalo ni Boatwright yung pasa, but CJ was there.
And there's a reason kung bakit San Miguel is number 4 in fast break points. They're averaging 15.1 fast break points. And here's Upshaw on the attack.
Oh, look at him go!
On the attack!
The tractor was loose.
Woo! Dahil natin pwede mabigyan ng nickname ito. I heard Big Boss from Jolly Escobar. I named him the Barrel. He's also a tractor.
He is all of those things indeed,
Yeah.
Dean. And He gave us a highlight, leading us into this timeout. Hatid sa atin ang Solaire Online. Play the game your way on Solaire Online Sportsbook.
Our trusted post-game wellness partner, Higher, our official home innovation partner, LGR, our official outfitter, Healthy and Pure Brand, our official hydration partner, Genetic Tech, our official IT partner, our value licenses, PBA Rush and Signal, World Balance, Daily Fantasy.
We're back inside the Ninoy Aquino Stadium. And let's talk about CJ Perez. Nag-dip yung kanyang offensive output in that game against NLEX. But like we said, he found ways to impact the game still.
What you like about CJ is that he's always ready to make the big plays when they count the most, which is towards the end of the game. He's a clutch player.
Eileen, you have more? We'll bring in Eileen later on as we take a look at Upshot. Trying to complete, hindi nga lang nakompleto, yung 3-point play niya sana. Boatwright gustong bumawi. Still unable to hit from deep. Last game din 2 of 10 rin lang si Benny Boatwright from outside. Foul on Lassiter.
And Tratter attacking the defensive Boatwright by going from the outside to the inside. Coach Pat Aquino talking to his boys.
Actually, just to correct what I said, the 2 of 10 si Benny Boatwright from 3-point range. But from 4-point range, he was 3 of 5.
Here we go once more. Oh, hindi pumasok yung tira.
Parang pinepersonal ni Upshot that he's matched up against the multi-time MVP of the PBA.
Andrade, however, scoring. And here's another fast break attack ng San Miguel. Kita mo, no, wala sa eksena on the defense si Upshot because setting the pace is San Miguel Beer. Rather, we don't one-on-one nyo dito si Boatwright, or rather that's Bearfield.
He got past Boatwright pero hindi na pumasok yung layup. It's Perez now to Boatwright. A smaller David on him. Easy work para kay Boatwright.
David going down. Either that's a flop or an offensive foul, but there was a no call.
.4:40 left in the first. Upshot. Bigay kay Bearfield. Yan yung tambahan ang nagdadala sa Blackwater.
What a massive hit. And Prato tries to keep scoring from the outside. That's not a strong suit.
Boatwright to Perez. Back to Penny. A smaller Andrade on him. Kaya susubukang atrasan ni Boatwright.
But nandyan si Upshot, so he's forced to give up the pass. A lot of places being covered.
Depensa ng Blackwater, which leads to this steal.
They're going to check whether it's a transition take. I don't know if there was enough control of the ball to merit the transition take. But that time, good coverage, huh?
Ito, nabasag. Pinahirapan kasi ng Blackwater yung San Miguel, and so Benny, on the way to the basket, lost it.
Oh, you know, on the second look, that looked like a transition take.
Mahirap eh, no? Depende sa anggulong makikita mo eh. That's why our referees review it because they can take a look at different angles.
Blocking foul on number 6, Chris Ross.
Blocking foul. So I was right the first time, not the second time. But from that angle, it looked like a transition take because
parang nauna na eh.
Pangat na eh. Oh, well, referees had different angles to decide the right call, and Paul Zamar is checking in now, along with CJ Austria. first quarter lang mapapanood na natin si CJ Austria with a score tied at 19-all.
Was a very important piece of that De La Salle championship.
A lot of second unit players. Si James Una is also here on the
Austria.
Floor. That's a three-pointer taken by Austria. His first attempt as a pro. Hindi pumasok. He has that shot.
Tsaka very gritty defender din yan si Austria.
Yes.
Fajardo wants to give it to Boatwright. And Una did a great job.
Well, he pushed him away from a sweet spot. So he took the shot at a different angle, at a difficult angle.
Austria bigay kay Andrade. Foul called on Fajardo. And sabi ni Junmar, wala daw, but it had been whistled already at mukhang hindi naman i-challenge ni Coach Leo.
Substitution. Joaquin Johnson for Chris Ross. Shot clock 14 seconds.
Coach Paquino upset, feeling na dapat mapigyan ng free throws. Upshaw with his second four.
That's another 4-point shot from Upshaw, and he has stepped the game. Don't look now, a 4-point lead by Blackwater over San Miguel here.
Junmar will have to step up a little bit further to cover Upshaw on that 4-point shot. May timeout na naman tayo. Hatid sa atin ang Soler Online. Play the game your way on Soler Online Sportsbook.
Medyo mabagal yung laro natin, pero wala tayong pinupuntahan. Okay?
Nagbabalik tayo dito sa Ninoy Aquino Stadium para sa tapatang Blackwater at San Miguel. We have already seen what Robert Upshaw could do with 7 games this conference. Kaya nga para kay Rob, ang kulang na lang is translating that into a string of wins. Now, looking at their situation a little more closely, Rob verbalized that one of the reasons kung bakit challenge siya previously is because madalas daw siya ang nag-i-initiate ng atake. Tapos yung mga locals, nag-aantay lang daw ng pasa. This is exactly why Coach Pat made sure to tweak that in this new system. As he says, Rob can't be doing everything. He doesn't need to carry that burden alone because we are here to play as a team. But today, I need him to assert his dominance in the paint even more. Kung saan ang special request ni Rob is for the locals to make sure they go downhill. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Eileen. Well, that's something they've been able to do. Ayun nga, yung atake ni CJ Austria. One thing Blackwater has done, Dean, is defend the paint well.
And they're trying to keep Benny Boatwright outside. They'll go with the outside shot to Benny Boatwright because that's not a high percentage shot. By the way, Austria has now scored his first basket as a PBA player.
Boatwright is now 0 for 4 from 3-point range. Kaya rin na madali for Blackwater to just shrink the floor.
And hindi po ang pasok yung tira niya, yes. But for Upshaw, he's now shooting close to 40% from 4-point distance. And here are some facts about CJ Austria, 24 years old, and from DLSU, from Laguna, and he was a second-round draft choice. As we mentioned earlier, his contract was picked up by Blackwater from Titan, and he signed up to February of 2027. So congratulations to CJ now making his PBA debut already with 2 points across his name.
And just looking on paper, talagang magagamit ng Blackwater ito si Austria with his skill set, his tenacity.
Well, right now, ang tao niya is Cruz, and here's a repost on Benny Boatwright. And Blackwater is expecting that kind of a move by Boatwright because he has been shooting well from the outside.
Wow, what a move by Andrade.
And that's a 10-point lead now. That's a 10-0 run coming from Blackwater because the score was tied 19-all kanina.
Kyungson ends their drought. Nagkikis-kisan si Kahilig and Andrade. We're gonna take a closer look at that.
Big challenge for the second unit players ng San Miguel. What can they do here with Trollano and Geronteng out?
Spacing is not at its best para sa Bossing. Upshaw, 4 na naman ba? The step back, the spin, the 4! My goodness!
That's a three-point shot. That's his first triple in this conference. And that's an unbelievable move. Did you see that kind of spin for a big man? Here's a 4-pointer. Di pumasok.
Sinusubukan bumawi ni Boatwright but shots have not been falling for the SMB import. Ito namang si Upshaw ayaw magpintis.
And look at this spin move. That's a complete 360-degree turn from Upshaw to get that shot. Look at him. He's enjoying himself on the floor. That's what you like about the imports. If you're enjoying it. Hindi pa masyadong skwalado yung tira na yun, but the shot fell through. Here's Stratter.
Yung footwork hindi lang dun sa tire, pati dun sa celebration.
Yeah.
Pinagpakita ng footwork ito si Rob Upshaw.
And Stratter missing from the outside or wide open.
Oh, no,
what a block! What a block by Una!
Blackwater. Samar for 3, knocks it down. What a run para sa Blackwater.
This is a blitz. 35 points now scored by Blackwater. And San Miguel is in a state of disarray and maybe shocked. Here's Benny Boatwright coming in close. And he will score.
He saw na wala ng Upshaw and it was time for him to attack.
5 points now for Boatwright. But he's been outplayed here by Upshaw, who has 13.
Bearfield looking to take on the scoring cudgels. Ngayong umupo na yung import nila. But Upshaw with 13 points.
Gotta make his move now.
Cedric will be fouled. And San Miguel is in penalty. Dalawang free throw yan.
A smart move there by Bearfield. He wanted to bait San Miguel to giving up that foul by driving. Now he's at the line. But 3.2 seconds to go.
First one is good para kay Bearfield. Now with 5 points.
13-point lead here by Blackwater. But as you know, no lead is safe in the PBA.
Second one's a miss.
Will there be enough time? No time to
Yep, that will be the end of the first quarter. Blackwater biglang lumamang thanks to the eruption of Rob Upshaw III. Nagsimula with this dunk where he put Fajardo on a poster tapos dalawang beses din tinirahan si Junmar with 4-point shots. And then that last one.
And John, even with Upshaw scoring 13 points, gotta say, balance ng offense ng Blackwater, 7 players have already scored.
And that's why they will take a 36-23 lead at the end of one.
Ikaw ba, alam mo ang tap-tap send at gumagamit ka ba ng tap-tap send?
Yes, tap-tap send ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang na.
Come on! 30 points! Come on, let's go! Let's go! Together on 3, 1, 2, 3! Together!
May regalo ang PBA para sa lahat ng manggagawang Pilipino on May 1, Labor Day Friday. Doon po sa Smart Araneta Coliseum, libreng ticket para sa lahat ng manggagawang Pilipino. First come, first serve yan. So, siguraduhin yung ahang-agahan ninyo dahil maganda rin yung mga laro natin. Ito, mapapanood nyo. Ball Manute Ball versus James Dickey III. TNT versus Phoenix sa first game. Aba, tapos Hinebra Merano ko pa yung second game. Yan ang regalo talaga ng PBA para sa lahat ng manggagawang Pilipino.
And Henry was excited for that doubleheader. Well, to open the second quarter, both teams playing importless. Narinig ko dun si Coach Patangino during the in-break huddle, and he was saying, guys, I think he was talking to Trotter, they're influencing you to take the outside shot. Trotter is 1 out of 4 from the field in this game so far. He's taken 3 shots from way outside, and he hasn't hit anything. But here's Bearfield now at the line. I remember yung sinabi natin, Blackwater is number 2 in terms of most free throws attempted.
One big reason for that, itong si Cedric Bearfield, just a talented scorer. Kaya kang tirahan, kaya kang iwanan. So he left that one short, yung second free throw niya, 1 of 2. Cruz. San Miguel's outside shots have not been falling.
And Blackwater is giving San Miguel that outside shot.
They're 2 of 9 from 3-point range, kaya medyo nahihirapan.
Well, good job there by Mo Tautoa in stopping the pick and roll. The roll action coming from James Una.
They forced Austria Riot. Una leaves his layup short.
That was a good pass. Hindi lang pumasok yung tira ni Una. That was a perfect pass.
Tratter gustong bantayan itong si Tautua. There's the help from CJ. Cruz will try again, same spot.
Hindi pa pumapasok. Blackwater
si
did that ball. That pass was deflected. Here comes Cruz, being defended by Austria.
Here's
nice
Brundial.
seal job. Nice seal job. Brundial getting the jump on Abu Tratter.
Lead is down to 12. Upshaw will be checking in sa next dead ball. Mas nauna siya magpahinga in the first quarter compared to Boatwright, I should say. Sabay-sabay silang papasok. Tatlong starters, David and Andrade, joining their import. Ito si Christian David, maganda rin ang simula. He made his first 2 shots. Good for 5 points so far.
And good move on the part of Coach Patangino to sub very early in the second quarter and not allowing San Miguel to trim that gap further.
What a pass!
Wow! That's what you call a pocket pass. Ito, nag-goggle move si Upshaw. Akala ko si Kevin Chambao lang gumagawa ng ganun. Of course, in the NBA, a lot of players are doing that.
Ito si Wami Kyongson, labas kay Tautua.
That's a 3.
And that can change things for San Miguel.
Nice pick and pop movement there. Nakakuha ng passes si Mo Tautua. Fires it from 3-point distance.
Option na naman. Paborito niyang spot yan top of the key. A lot of things happen para sa Blackwater when he has the ball there. Pero ngayon, matatawagan ng foul si Cruz.
That's a 13 foul by San Miguel. While Blackwater, wala pa silang foul dito sa second quarter. Benny Boatwright is checking back in.
Now, we saw a 4-pointer, we saw a dunk, we saw a 3. Pasa naman yung binigay ni Upshaw. Pero binawi ni Tautua with his 3-point shot brought to you by Arena Plus Sportsbook.
Benny Boatwright had 41 points in the previous game. That's his first in this conference. And that's with a cough and colds. So, can you imagine if he's healthy?
Upshaw misses that one. A foul will be called on Trapper. And that gives us a chance to bring in Eileen. Eileen?
What did mean with Blackwater shooting at 52% after the first quarter? Ang naging sigaw ni Coach Leo Austria. The problem is, we are trying too hard to play one-on-one. Benny Boatwright did great last game, pero hindi daw araw-araw magiging ganon. Kaya naman moving forward, the ask is to run to their spots on transition. They need to get into the flow of things and defend better. Balik sa inyo.
Ayaw pa rin mahulog ng tira ni Boatwright sa labas.
And that's a wide open shot. By the way, si Coach Leo Austria now is testing this combination of Boatwright and Tartua together. Tartua playing defense on option, forcing him to pass. Ito na naman si Tracker. Hindi na naman pumasok. That was Beerfield, sorry. Check that.
It's Tracker now guarding Boatwright. Sinasayaw ni Benny. Pinag-isipan ni Mo yung 4, pero instead passes to Cruz. Mo, open again.
That's a 3. Hindi na pumasok.
Andrade, pinag-isipan din, but they'll reset their offense. It's Upshaw. Quick trigger on the 4.
That's another 4.
Man, his range is incredible.
17 points for Upshaw.
36 in the last game. But he's on pace to go past that.
Well, his career high anywhere when he has played is 39 points. He did that in Turkey. A big rebound here, offensive rebound. Hindi pumasok.
Oh, there's just a brick wall in the middle named Robert Upshaw. And he has done wonders on both ends.
And don't look now, it's a 17-point lead by Blackwater.
Hirap na hirap mag-generate ng puntos itong San Miguel.
And look at the switch. It's still a big guy on both sides. He still can't get the ball to fall inside.
He doesn't understand it.
And if you're Blackwater, that's the kind of switch you want. You leave out Tracker, but then there's the vid to shadow both right. Here's Johnson. That's a pull-up 3. They're taking too many threes. That's a baseball pass. And the vid will score. Upshaw's making a difference.
Blackwater now up by 19. Si Robert Upshaw kanina puro siya ang umiscore back in the first quarter. Here in the second, nag-aambag naman in different ways. The rebound, the pitch, still 2 points for Blackwater. Timeout on San Miguel brought to you by Soler Online. Play the game your way on Soler Online Sportsbook.
Or a pistol or zoom action, guys. Look at that.
Substitutions. CJ Guns for Jericho Cruz, June Mark Alfaro for Paul Tartua.
Kahit kulang-kulang, kahit may mga importanteng players na hindi available sa Blackwater, they lead San Miguel by 19.
This is actually a big shocker, and that's a block on CJ Perez.
Hey, you can really feel frustration building up dito sa Beermen.
Oh, that's an outside shot by Christian David. That's a 3. The lead is now 22.
Everything going the way of Blackwater.
Well, check this out. Boatwright has taken 40% of the shots of San Miguel, and he's hitting only 22% from the field. Lassiter breaking the silence. That's an even 20-point lead by Blackwater. Can you believe this? Blackwater's record 1-6. San Miguel's record is 4-4.
A steal by Perez. CJ going to the cup. Finally, 2 points para kay Perez. He's been looking for them. Pero matatawagan ng delay of game si Lassiter.
At yan ang style na inaasahan ni Coach Leo Austria na gawin ng San Miguel. Run the floor, play transition offense, and leave Upshaw behind.
Upshaw trying to get it against Boatwright. Naibigay naman sa kanya. There's that skip pass to Andrade. Corner 3, no good. CJ asking for it, pero si Boatwright muna pupuntahan.
Perez looking to score. That won't make it, and here's Blackwater once more on the attack. Lead is 18. Ito na si Beerfield. Nagmimintis na kayo ng Blackwater and San Miguel. Pushing the pace. And he will score again. An easy layup. Unti-unti San Miguel finding its rhythm.
That's back-to-back hits para kay Perez, and of course they got Lassiter as well. Now it's Blackwater looking to respond. Isa-is pa rin naman ang lamang nila. Big thanks to this big guy who's been making wonders happen para sa Blackwater. Another fantastic find.
That adjustment, nakita natin yan very early in this game. Top shot posting up, gets the double team, and then he'll pass off to a wide open man on the weak side.
At hindi rin siya maagawan ng rebound ni Fajardo. Up shot, now it's 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Looking for his 4th four-pointer. Banks it in. I mean, he can do no wrong.
The back line off the glass. Apat pa yun. Apat. That's a 4-point shot.
4 for 4 from 4-point distance.
And, Upshaw giving up the foul. And Boatwright couldn't connect that layup. That would have been a 3-point play. Opportunity. Ito yung pasa. Ito na naman si Upshaw. That's a 4-pointer. Off the glass. He can't miss.
And San Miguel will have to talk things over dun sa depensa nila. There seems to always be a man open para sa Bossing. That time it was Upshaw for his 4th 4-point shot. 21 puntos, still with 4 and 21 left in the second. Samantala, ito si Benny Boatwright after a 41-point outburst kontra sa NLEX. That's only a 6th point.
Just check this out. Upshaw, just to update his stats, is 4 out of 4 from 4. That's a perfect 4. And he's also 1 out of 1 from 3. So from deep, he's going 100%. That's an unbelievable clip.
Boatwright got both free throws. 20 pa rin ang tinitingala ng SMBA. And we have a timeout brought to you by Solaire Online. Play the game your way on Solaire Online Sportsbook.
Come on, guys. You gotta talk more.
Here inside the Nino Aquino Stadium, Robert Upshaw has been the big difference para sa Blackwater. Sinimulan niya by scoring. When he drew the attention of the defense of San Miguel, he started involving his teammates, and it has opened up a 20-point lead para sa Blackwater.
And Upshaw, by the way, already has 5 assists. Kasasabi mo lang, no? He's opening up things for his teammates. He's not only shooting the ball so accurately, hinahanap din ang kanyang mga kampi. 5 assists for the big guy. And as a team, 51.3% shooting on Blackwater compared to 37.5% shooting for San Miguel.
But that ball was tapped away. Will stay with Blackwater. 6 na segundo pa sila.
It's Bolt right now defending Upshaw at the post. Here's Upshaw. Oh, that's a tough shot. That's a Dirk Nowitzki kind of shot.
For someone
One-legged.
of his size, his touch is so soft.
He's shooting about 70% right now from the field in this game.
Ito naman si Boatwright. Naghahanap pa rin ng opensa. He blows past the defense. And that might be what he has to do. He might have to attack instead of settling for outside shots.
He has the ability to do that. Ang bilis niyang gumalaw. He can put the ball on the floor. Certainly a lot more skilled than Upshaw. But Upshaw provides a different kind of offensive presence.
Pero ayaw magmintis ng Blackwater from the field.
Blackwater picking up another assist. They've got 13 assists now in the game against 10 for San Miguel. Here's Boatwright now connecting from the outside. That's all he needed. That wide open layup to get his confidence back.
Bearfield looking to answer. Wala yung tira niya. Ang sipag din ito ni Una to just mix it up for rebounds. But let's take a look at this. Finally, Boatwright gets one. A three-point shot brought to you by Arena Plus Sportsbook.
Now Una defending Boatwright. I thought, oh, there's the blitz. And then they call the foul. It's going to be an Upshaw. He's got to be careful. He's been the main man of Blackwater.
Foul on number 55, Robert Upshaw, the third. There's a challenge on the ball.
There's a challenge because that will be his third personal foul. Nasa second quarter lang tayo. Coach Patakino just wants to make sure that was really a foul. He has challenged it. You see Mike Cortez as part of his coaching staff.
Parang naghanap sila ng hawik kay Boatwright.
That's close. Panurin natin. And they were blitzing. Boatwright forcing him outside and preventing any kind of decent pass.
After the review, nagkaroon po ng illegal contact si Upshaw against Boatwright. Therefore, the challenge of Blackwater is not successful.
May contact on. You watch it here. Ito yung double on Boatwright, so they wanted to blitz him. And there was that arm of Upshaw. Upshaw saying that it was Boatwright who bumped into his arm. That arm was there, that made contact. So that's a foul.
Pero perhaps if hindi tumama yung left arm ni Upshaw tapos hinok siya ni Boatwright, might have been overturned pero tumama eh. And that's where the foul was. Now it's Boatwright getting closer. That's now 7 straight points he scored.
Right now he's taking Una to school. Maybe Trotter was a better defender on Boatwright because I think Boatwright now has got his rhythm. But Upshaw, look at the way he came close to the basket. It's not going to be denied. At alam ng San Miguel, if they double him, he's going to pass over to the weak side, someone who's wide open. Ito.
Inurong niya lang yung depensa ni Boatwright.
That's a three-point play completion. Still a 20-point lead with 2:22 to go. Coach Patakino is sticking with Upshaw on the floor and Boatwright. He continues to be hot.
And that's why pinuntahan pa rin ng San Miguel etong si Benny. Even as he struggled because they have full faith in the guy who led them to a championship 2 years ago.
12 out of 17 points coming here in the second quarter.
David, still perfect from the field. That changes with that miss. Perez asking for it.
He's going to go one-on-one, and he will miss.
Naghanap ng foul si CJ. He was expecting a whistle.
That's going to be the 5th personal foul on San Miguel Beer. So now they're in the penalty, but 1:40 to go.
Hirap nitong tiran to ni Boatwright.
Tsaka maganda yung Maganda yung pick that Jumar Fajardo set para kay Boatwright. At ball screen action, that's something that Blackwater needs to address. Kasi ang daling maiwanan ni Boatwright si Una. Now Trotter is back. We mentioned that Trotter did a better job defensively on Boatwright earlier. CJ Osler is also back. And that's a good pass by Osler, pero hindi na-handle ni Andrade.
Nice pass by Lassiter.
And he will not miss.
Wala nang nagawa si Austria doon.
That's a 15-point lead now by Blackwater. The biggest was 22.
Bearfield, umalog palabas.
That's a foul on Boatwright. And Trotter will go to the line. Boatwright, pangatlo din. Ni Boatwright yung foul na yun. So, he matches the total fouls ni Upshaw.
Look at the effort of Perez para ma-save yung bola. Nabigay kay Lassiter, who found Jumar ahead of everyone else.
And using the left hand, Jumar Fajardo scoring easily. Ako, hindi naawa. Trotter shooting 60.5% from the line this conference.
1-2 para kay Abu. Entering the final minute of the first half. It's a 16-point lead for Blackwater.
Boatwright na nagbababa ng bola for San Miguel. He's feeling it now. He wants to take the shot, and he does. And he misses.
Trotter securing that rebound. Now Blackwater on the run. Austria to Andrade from the corner. Lumabas. Upshaw.
Oh, hindi pumasok.
Look at Bearfield though. Nakapulot ng rebound.
And he will be fouled. What an effort coming from Blackwater on those offensive rebounds. Now San Miguel. How will they challenge? Oh, that's his fourth personal foul.
And Benny says, I'm okay. Wag niyo akong palitan, coach.
And 34.7 seconds na lang. 17 points now is the lead. Would be 18 with another connection from Bearfield.
He's got to be very careful. Lalo na dito nga, you mentioned the time, 34.7. Ayaw mong makuha pa yung panglima mo with half a minute left in the second quarter.
Oh, another missed free throw here by Bearfield. He's just splitting his charities. Actually, may pagkakataon pa dito ang Blackwater to get the last possession, depending on how quickly San Miguel orchestrates and they get an easy basket on the pass coming from Boatwright.
So Blackwater will have a chance to take the last shot. Trotter, labas kay Upshaw.
Upshaw on the attack. What a nice move. Hindi lang pumasok.
Perez from 4. That's no good. And Blackwater really felt na dapat may pito dun sa huling atake ni Upshaw. But the first half comes to a close. It's a 15-point lead para sa Blackwater Bossing.
Ikaw ba, alam mo ang tap-tap send at gumagamit ka ba ng tap-tap send?
Yes, tap-tap send ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang last.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
Last year, the spark of the Great Revival was ignited. This 2026, the spark becomes a wildfire. Witness a bigger tour of Luzon 2026. 5 regions, 13 provinces, 14 grueling stages, local and international teams. 1 legendary title. Every pedal, every climb, straight to your screens. Catch the Tour of Luzon 2026 from April 29 to May 13 only on the Pilipinas Live app. Also available on One Sports and One Sports Plus.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
This season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
Last year, the spark of the Great Revival was ignited. This 2026, the spark becomes a wildfire. Witness a bigger tour of Luzon 2026. 5 regions, 13 provinces, 14 grueling stages, local and international teams. One legendary title. Every pedal, every climb, straight to your screens. Catch the Tour of Luzon 2026 from April 29 to May 13 only on the Pilipinas Live app. Also available on One Sports and One Sports Plus.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
This season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP. All in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
Last year, the spark of the Great Revival was ignited. This 2026, the spark becomes a wildfire. Witness a bigger tour of Luzon 2026. 5 regions, 13 provinces, 14 grueling stages, local and international teams. 1 legendary title. Every pedal, every climb, straight to your screens. Catch the Tour of Luzon 2026 from April 29 to May 13 only on the Pilipinas Live app. Also available on One Sports and One Sports Plus.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
This season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
We're at the fold inside the Ninoy Aquino Stadium. Halftime between the Blackwater Bossing and the San Miguel Beermen. You're seeing the score in your screens, and don't be surprised. It's Blackwater ahead by 15 points. Shot sulit pa rin po with the Dean Quinito Henson. You're watching the PBA on RPTV. Dean, ano ba naging kwento ng first half natin?
All offense for Blackwater, 65 points times 2. That's 130 points that they potentially can score in this contest. And for San Miguel, you know that they like to win with defense. And I've broken down some statistics. In the 4 wins that they've had, they've held their opponents 92.3 points. But in the 4 losses, their opponents averaged 118.3 points. That's a big difference. But take a look at our halftime stats here. Sa field goal percentage, angat ang Blackwater. Sa free throws, they have taken more. They've taken 7 more free throw attempts than San Miguel. Sa rebounding naman, they're +4 in the total rebounding department. And in 4-point field goals, check this out. 4 out of 5 from 4-point distance against 0 out of 4 for San Miguel. And 4 4-pointers have been scored by that man who leads Blackwater in scoring, 26 points, Robert the Barrel Upshaw.
Double-double na yan si Upshaw. May 10 rebounds na rin. May 5 assists pa. Yung stat line niya, pang full game na eh. But we're only at halftime. Boatwright does have 17 points, but he struggled from the field. 6 out of 16. Bago tayo pumasok sa second half natin, Dean, let's update our Dean's list, starting with San Miguel.
Well, for San Miguel, yung transition defense nila, I think they were able to stop Blackwater from scoring a lot of points on the fast breaks. They haven't been able to stop Blackwater, however, from scoring points from the perimeter. They have not been able to run the floor as smoothly as they should, but they've been able to trap the pick and roll of Blackwater. The problem is Blackwater has been going to other options rather than pick and roll. It's post up with Upshaw or Upshaw taking the outside shot. And for Blackwater naman, 2 check marks and 1 X mark. They haven't been able to defend Boatwright consistently. 12 out of the 17 points of Boatwright coming in the second quarter. And they've been able to box out San Miguel, 30-26 in the rebounding advantage. And yeah, they've been able to play the run-out game that they want. And I think Blackwater, 2 check marks. And San Miguel actually also 2 check marks for them.
Well, before we head into the third quarter, paparangalan natin si CJ Perez, who recently accomplished something in his career.
Round of applause for the Predator, CJ Perez.
CJ Perez, the newest member of the 5,000-point club. He got there very fast. Paano ba naman? He started his career, Dean, winning back-to-back scoring championships. He was still playing for Terra Firma, then he became the first player na naging scoring champion in his first 2 seasons in the PBA and is now the 102nd member of the 5,000 career point club of the PBA.
Well, he's a 7-time champion and he's a 1-time finals MVP. a first-round overall pick in 2018 by Columbia. He's 32 years old, and he's going strong. CJ Perez, congratulations. Bagong miyembro ng ating 5,000-point club. Yung isang punto na dapat bagitin as far as our dean's list for Blackwater is concerned is yung rolling out the barrel na si Upshaw. Can you imagine with 26 points? 4 out of 4 from 4. 1 out of 1 from 3. But get this, he's only 3 out of 8 from 2-point distance, 37.5%. Those are the high percentage shots. But he's getting a higher percentage shooting from deep.
Well, I mean, the guy is 33% from 4-point range entering this contest.
Oo, tama. But now he's 4 out of 4. So he's now overall shooting over 40% from 4-point distance. But what makes Upshaw impressive in this game is that yung kanyang 5 assists. Now for San Miguel, we mentioned about their defensive stats when they win. I think it's important for San Miguel not only to get their points, but also to limit Blackwater from scoring points.
Looks like maganda ang naging usap ng San Miguel in their halftime huddle, immediately getting 2 points up.
June Fajardo being brought out here by Upshaw, and then Upshaw now trying to establish low post position. Sino mapapasahan niya? Or is he going to go strong to the hole? He does, and he will go to the line.
You get fooled by Upshaw's size. Hindi mo iisipin that he can handle the basketball the way that he does. Remember his first basket of this game, Dean? Umatake siya from top of the key all the way to the basket, finished with a slam. And even when he's pressured in the post, he's able to maneuver around defenders.
And this guy has a lot of moves despite his size. And by the way, we've got word from Blackwater that he has lost about 20 pounds. So he's certainly taking his work seriously. Wants to make sure that he's able to lead Blackwater into the playoffs. But a lot of hard work ahead. 1-6 and record than Blackwater.
They're trying to save their season, their conference, with a win here. Palit kasi ng palit yung margin of error nitong Blackwater. Perez susubok sa labas. That's way short. Upshaw with rebound number 11.
Fairfield on the attack. He'll go to the line. Napapasapit nila yung San Miguel with those attacks, either from Upshaw close to the basket or the drives by Beerfield. And we mentioned that in our halftime analysis. Jack, yung number of free throws being given up by San Miguel. At the half, 12 free throws taken by Blackwater and only 5 for San Miguel.
That is definitely something na you'd be surprised to see sa box scores, because San Miguel is usually the more aggressive team, lalong-lalo na sa opensa. That's what you would expect, but it is Blackwater lording over that department and over this game. 17 points ang lamang nila.
Trotter and Boatwright, that has been the defensive matchup. And here we go. Boatwright on the attack.
And before we let Benny shoot 2 free throws, kwentuhan ulit tayo ni Eileen.
Jot and Dean giving away 65 points in the first half alone. Coach Peter Martin highlighted how they have to play better defense. Lalo na at Blackwater is shooting at 57% from the 2-point area. Ika nga ni Coach Peter, majority of that are from open court basketball. Tinatakbuhan kami and we need to reverse that story. Kaya naman the ask moving forward is to play with the cards they are dealt with, and that means executing their offense, because so far they have been out of sync. And as for Rob Upshaw, just make him tired. Back to you.
So yun yung gustong subukan ng San Miguel. Testingin nila yung conditioning nito ni Upshaw, kung kaya bang dumiin ng 48 minutes. So far so good. He's still at it para sa Blackwater.
Well, he's able to find his spot close to the basket.
Ross, nakadilihensya ng foul.
Look at this. Ito yung pasa galing kay Trotter. So in a good inside position, And he just turned around to make that shot. So nakikita natin si Upshaw, tumitira sa labas, kayo naman pumoposte, kami close to the basket. Iniiba-iba niya ang estilo to make the defense off guard. It's 2 out of 2 for Chris Ross. Kanina he had a three-pointer. Teams are trading baskets now. At sabi nga ni Eileen, yung napulot niya from the San Miguel huddle is that they need to play better defense.
That cross-court pass has been open all game long. Parang option. It's just a matter of maipapasok ba nung pinasahan niya.
And that pass is there for Upshaw because he's situating himself deep in a corner.
CJ hindi nakadaan kay Upshaw. Junmar nakaagaw ng rebound.
Here's a three.
That's another board for Fajardo.
And they will score again. This is what I was saying about how important it is for Blackwater to box out the rebounders in San Miguel. And for Upshaw, kailangan niya ng tulong.
Bearfield, nice touch for Cedric.
You know, Christian David has to be a little more active in helping out in the rebounding end. Ito may foul ang Blackwater.
Did here in the second half, we're seeing Bearfield get a little more aggressive sa offense. And this could be a very good sign for Blackwater dahil we know na potentially mapagod din to si Upshaw sa dami na nang ginagawa niya. Might be time for Bearfield to take over soon.
And look at that nice pass. Galing kay Boatwright. Ang ganda ng connection ng Boatwright at saka si Fajardo. It's a better connection than Boatwright and Tangtua kanina.
That's a steal. CJ is ahead.
And here we go.
Predator laying it softly in. And San Miguel
This is the
back
run.
within 11.
The run we were expecting. They're playing better defense now. And the defense is providing the opportunities to score in transition. Diyan mabigat ang San Miguel. If they can run consistently, they will score consistently.
San Miguel is a team that rides on momentum heavily. If they get a couple of baskets in a row, they get a stop, they continue to roll. At siya nagiging delikado kalaban itong well-decorated championship franchise. We want to remind you na tatakbo po in its 6th year ang PBA Blood Donation in partnership with the Philippine Red Cross and Smart Araneta Coliseum sa May 3 naman yan. Sunday po yun sa Smart Araneta nga, and there's gonna be free tickets for donors. Sa May 3 pa yan, pero pwede na kayo mag-register ngayon hanggang April 30. All you have to do is scan the QR code on your screens. Bukod po dun sa ticket na makukuha nyo kapag kayo ay mag-donate, let's take this as an opportunity para makatulong. Malaki po ang difference na magagawa by donating blood, and also it's very good for you to donate and replenish yung the blood flow of our bodies, of course. So we hope that you can participate.
Here's Bearfield using some multiple screens by Upshaw. Andrade. Oh, what a nice getaway. Hindi lang pumasok yung tira. At wala pa naman offensive rebound. Ang Blackwater tumatakbo. And they will score again. Oh, they will not score.
Yes,
but they will eventually score. Napaganda pa. Because now Ferris is going to go to the line. And this is something that Coach Matakino should have anticipated, or probably did. He knew the run was going to come. And it's going to come from good defense on one end, translating into fast break opportunities. Hindi pumasok yung tira, pero nandun. Si CJ Perez is looking to complete a three-point play.
Eileen, what do you have?
Jot din kakabigay lang ng acknowledgement kay CJ Perez for scoring 5,000 career points in the league. And for CJ, it is a milestone na hindi niya makakalimutan. Looking back, CJ says, di niya inaasahan na aabot siya dito, especially with the pool of talent in the PBA. He was just going to his strength, which is scoring as a slasher. Ilang taon na nga daw ang nakalipas, and it's the same strength he relies on during game day. But as CJ says, there's more than slashing that makes him a lethal scorer. Natutunan niya ding maging mature, maging patient, and consistent, which made all the difference, as his goal is to lead this SMB team. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Eileen. Well, CJ Perez has also won a Finals MVP award with San Miguel.
A lot of championships already under his belt. Also a decorated Gilas player.
And nun nga lang, Finals last conference din, di ba? Remember, he scored 30 points in 1 quarter. Ito na naman siya, Perez!
And he's going to be the man. If San Miguel wants to get back the lead, they need to be able to run the floor. And CJ Perez is the best at doing that.
He's got 7 points in the third.
6 points na lang ang hinahabol ng San Miguel. And look at Tracker fumbling the ball. Here's another attack. And it's CJ Perez again.
We were
He's
just
leading the
talking
charge
about how he can erupt in 1 quarter. He's got 9 in just a little over 4 minutes here in the third.
Blackwater in a panic. And there's Beermen, he's going to go to the line. CJ Ostra ready to check back in. Blackwater looking for some stability on the floor.
Now, Coach Leo was about to challenge. Look at that finish mula kay Perez. Back-to-back yan. Coach Leo was getting ready to challenge this foul call. Pero hinila siya ni assistant coach George Gallant, saying, let's reserve our challenge for later, which might be considered a good call. Nagwintis si Cedric Beerfield sa unang free throw.
He's shooting only 50% from the line in this game. Ostra checking back in. Una is also on the floor now to replace Tratter, who's been committing some turnovers. And that's 1 point coming from Beerfield to stretch the lead to 5. That was once 22. Biglang-bigla.
San Miguel
ng San Miguel
with a massive third quarter here.
And all about defense. Ito na si Beerfield. Rather si Boatwright with a nice pass inside. A foul coming from Christian David.
Din kanina, straight up yung atake ng San Miguel. In fact, narinig nga natin kay Eileen that they admitted to falling into one-on-one traps. Now we see a lot of decoys. Napunta yung bola kay Boatwright as soon as he got a touch, nahanap niya si Fajardo. This has been what turned the game around para sa San Miguel.
That's right. At saka yung defense sila. That's very important kung anong depensa ginagawa dito ng San Miguel. They're forcing turnovers on Blackwater. But to your point, yes, the ball movement is so much better in this quarter. Remember, at the half, they only had 12 assists against 15 for Blackwater. Pero ngayon, they're sharing the ball. They're looking for who's open. Oh, what a move here by Beerfield. Matake right down the middle.
Ganda ng jelly naman nun.
6-point lead here by Blackwater. Beerfield getting the job done with that attack.
Una, pinapahirapan si Boatwright. Little too much. Tawagan ng foul si James Una. That's gonna be 2 free throws. Penalty na Blackwater. Look at that jelly. And he got the defense toast.
Ang ganda naman ang atake ni Beerfield on that layup. Here's Benny Boatwright. Just his second game in this conference. He's shooting 87.5% before this contest. He's a dead shot when it comes to shooting free throws. Played 4 years at the University of Southern California. Do you know that his middle name is Francois? He's actually Benny Francois Boatwright, and he was named after his godfather, Francois Weiss, who was in the LA police force with Benny's father for over 30 years. Francois Weiss was a former PBA import. Ngayon, nababasa na ng San Miguel yung mga pasa kay Alcio.
And San Miguel has climbed to within 2.
That's in a wink of an eye. Biglang-bigla.
Another steal! Lassiter for the lead! Money on the 3!
And Lassiter, what confidence. After he released, he turned his back. He knew he was going in. Alam ni Lassiter, papasok at papasok yun.
Austria restores order. The rookie making his PBA debut. Binalik yung lamang sa Blackwater.
That's 4 points now for CJ Austria.
Or Marshall may have had his foot on the line earlier. Kaya dos lang yung binigay.
And there's another pass. And a 3-point play opportunity once more. And they're passing inside. They're not like the passes of Blackwater that are coming from upshot from one corner to the other corner. Ito ang passing nila sa loob. Kanya, at daling maka-score ng San Miguel.
And Junmar will have a chance to put San Miguel ahead by 1. After this timeout, brought to you by Solaire Online. Play the game your way on Solaire Online Sportsbook.
PBA and Signal, World Balance, Daily Fantasy.
San Miguel entered the third quarter down by 15, 65 to 50. But they have outscored Blackwater 28 to 13. Halfway mark pa lang tayo halos ng third quarter. Kaya tabla na tayo at 78 apiece. Now earlier, we thought that Marshall hit a 3 to give San Miguel the lead, but he was stepping on the line. Kaya dos lang yung nabigay, natabla niya lang. Now Junmar can finally give SMB the lead if he knocks down this free throw.
And it's been a while.
Ito din, yung apak ni Marshall.
The tip of his feet. Parang tiptoe yun. But yes, he was on the line. Kanya nabigyan siya ng 2 instead of 3.
Sana pala nilayang niya na lang, no?
Oh,
But if you're the league's best three-point shooter in history, I mean, you're allowed to pull up maybe and take a 3 in transition.
And he takes that with a lot of confidence. Here's the foul on CJ Perez.
That's the last team foul to give the SMB. So both teams in penalty for the final 5 and 34 of this third quarter.
What we've noticed is the way San Miguel is playing defense on Upshaw, especially Junmar Fajardo. Ina-anticipate nila yung entry passing. So Junmar is there playing denial defense. Look at the way Junmar is trying to front Upshaw. See that on the screens.
Austria.
Oh, he missed that shot. Nandun si Boatwright.
Nasapal ng ring doon. It's Lassiter's quick trigger.
There it is again. And now San Miguel's guns are blazing. All cylinders.
Din, he hasn't missed from the field. 2 of 2 sa 3, 3 of 3 sa 2. And finally, nakapag-ingay na ulit si Upshaw.
Not a contact before making that shot. Ito, tumatakbo na naman. And you notice, naiiwanan na si Upshaw. He cannot play defense with Junmar Fajardo because tumatakbo ang San Miguel. And Junmar Fajardo doing a great job of recognizing kung nasaan si Upshaw, tinatakbuhan niya. Kanya nalilibre siya. Yan ang matchup.
And
Upshaw at saka si Fajardo.
Si Upshaw na mismo din ang humingi ng sub kay Coach Pat Aquino. So Tratter will be checking in for him.
Yeah, he needs to rest. He's not able to get back on defense. And San Miguel is taking advantage. Too good to be true yung 65 points ng Blackwater at the half. There's a miss by Junmar.
Unable to complete the 3-point play. Boatwright still on the floor. He had 4 fouls in the first half, pero naingatan niya naman, he hasn't picked one up since. Samar hits a 3. That's a big one.
And the pass coming from Beerfield Umikot yung bola doon ng Blackwater before they found the open guy.
Boatwright wants to attack.
Whoa, what a move! Inikutan niya si Una. No double team, just single coverage. Boatwright's gonna make you pay.
Ang lead ngayon ng Blackwater kumpara sa San Miguel.
It's a very small lineup.
They're gonna try to use their speed.
Diba maganda to, CJ versus CJ?
That's true. Quarter scoring natin din 36-18. SMB dominant so far. Tinamaan sa ulo si Tratter. The culprit is Fajardo. Look at this move.
This one-on-one action here. Boatwright just taking Una to school.
And that's, I think, a good picture kung bakit kino-consider talaga natin, sinusubukan nating i-naturalize ito si Benny Boatwright. He has that size. He hasn't been able to show it a lot in this game, but he has the touch as well from deep, and he has those moves. Eileen, ano balita?
Jot and Dean coach Pat Aquino reassured his guys in the latest huddle that everything will be okay. They have managed to build a lead previously, and they can replicate that if they stick to what has been working. Kaya naman ang hinihingi niya in the latest huddle is to make sure they can offensively deliver by setting high screens, making sure that driving lanes are cleared. Back to you.
Thank you, Eileen. Blackwater has their work cut out for them dahil they were once ahead by 22 points. Umabot ng 22 yun lamang nila. Pinura ng San Miguel in just one quarter. Nabura rin si Andrade sa screen ni Boatwright. Benny gets his second offensive rebound in this possession. Ross is fouled nang hinayang siya. He wanted a layup.
But those offensive rebounds ng San Miguel hurting Blackwater. That was a main point sa atin, Dingsley. Sa box out, yung rebounders ng San Miguel. Blackwater not able to do that, especially here in this quarter. Multiple opportunities to score for San Miguel.
Ross. That's good. Second one for C. Ross. That rims out. And may lane violation pa on CO. So 6 points so far para kay Ross. He does have 4 assists as well. Of course, the playing assistant coach of San Miguel missed a couple of games earlier in the conference. Actually, itong San Miguel di pa rin ako kompleto dito sa Commissioner's Cup because nung bumalik itong si Ross, si Natroliano naman, Jeron Teng yung mga nawala. That's gonna stay with Blackwater.
Nabanggit natin about the rebounding edge ng San Miguel here in this quarter. It's 8-2. 8 rebounds for San Miguel, only 2 rebounds for Blackwater sa quarter na to.
Andrade baseline J, wala. That's another rebound para sa San Miguel. Boatwright collecting that one.
Oh, what about that dribbling action?
Perez, iwan kay Brondial, babangga si Rodney. Oh, he got it back and he mops up his own mess.
Masasabi lang natin how important it is for Blackwater to box out those offensive rebounders ng San Miguel. Naka-score na naman ng second chance opportunity ang mga Beermen. Upshaw's getting ready to check back in because Blackwater's getting eaten alive from the boards.
Una, lumabas yung tres niya. Brondial could not save it. And Blackwater is starting to feel the pressure right now. They're down by 4. It's 1:46 left in the third quarter. Magbabalik po kami.
Abu, they're gonna switch. If they don't switch, Rob, if getting it, but the play is...
Thank you for joining us here on RPTV. Let's take a look back at November 21, 1991, when Alan Kaidik knocked down 17 threes. He also had a 37-point third quarter. Grabe yun. But also CJ Perez, well, yun nga, he got close to that. 30 puntos din in Game 6 of the finals. Last conference, that was actually the game where San Miguel clinched that championship. Back in this game, nakaagaw din agad itong San Miguel. Cruz unable to hang on to it. Counter stop from Blackwater.
Jack, meron akong mga nakapit dito na statistics. In this quarter alone, 12-0 ang advantage ng San Miguel in fast break points. 11-3 ang advantage ng San Miguel in assists. So very clearly, San Miguel has been able to run the floor, get their transition baskets, leave the defense of Blackwater behind. Tapos yung kanilang pasahan, 11 assists. So now they have a total of 23 assists in this game so far.
Rondal still pleading his case na bola raw yung tinamaan niya, but the foul had been whistled. Pasok yung unang free throw ni Tratter.
Tratter now has scored his last 4 free throws. All of them makes.
But you know, Dean, ito rin namang Blackwater, while nahabol na yung lamang nila, lumamang na ang San Miguel, hindi pa rin nagpapaiwan itong mga bossing. They're hanging around.
Well, Boatwright is sitting down. It's an opportunity here for Blackwater to do some damage. Pero yan naman, ang atake ni CJ, hindi lang pumasok. Upshaw is on the floor as we mentioned.
Austria. Zamar was actually asking for the basketball dun sa kanto, but Austria decided to take it by himself. A minute and 52 left in the third quarter. Dalawa lamang ng San Miguel. This has been a major quarter for them. 39 points so far, Dean.
But yung pressure defense kayo ng Blackwater, trying to delay the advance of the ball.
Perez, kung di ka mawala sa kanya yung bola.
Nakawala.
CJ leads it to
beautiful
Fajardo.
pass. Again, yung passing ng San Miguel has been exquisite dito sa ating third quarter.
41-point third quarter for SMB. Upshaw still perfect from 4.
He's not allowed to take any outside shots anymore. He goes to the basket and he misses.
Wala si Upshaw, so aatake si Perez. He'll be back at the line.
What a way Junmar Fajardo is playing defense sa quarter na ito. Dinidikita niya si Upshaw. So Upshaw does not have any room to get off shot from outside, either 3 or 4. And forcing Upshaw to put the ball on the floor.
Well, Robert Upshaw had 13 points in the first quarter. He added another 13 pagdating ng second quarter, but has been limited to just 6 points here in the third.
32 points now for Upshaw. But this is his problem, no? Yung consistency niya and trying to make sure that he has enough gas in the tank to last the whole 48-minute game.
Let's remember against Phoenix, he only had 1 point in the fourth quarter.
Ito na naman yung outside shot. Hindi na pumasok yung 4-point attempt. Tumatakbo na naman ang San Miguel. And there's an outside shot. Hindi pumasok. Oh, pinunood lang ni Upshaw.
He's having a hard time moving now.
He gets a rebound finally, but he's very slow to get up on defense. But there's a foul on CJ.
I think he's guilty of it. At naalala niya, penalty na nga pala sila.
Holding foul on number 77, CJ Perez, penalty. It's his fourth foul.
Fourth foul na rin ni Perez.
Paul Zamar, a veteran, played in the Thai League before making his mark in the PBA.
Was actually a very good player dun sa Thailand, sa TBL.
Yeah.
Played for Mono Vampire.
And you know, he was drafted by Ginebra actually back in 2012 in the 4th round.
Had a brief stint. Kasama niya ang kanyang tatay, of course, Coach Boise Samar, who was a member of the assistant coaching staff. Oh, look at Perez defying the defense of Upshaw.
Nandun si Upshaw, but still, what tremendous body control ang pinakita ni CJ Perez. Binali niya yung kanyang katawan to make sure he got off the shot, and he made it. Ito na, Upshaw against Junmar. One-on-one.
Huli ni Brunel, but Austria was there for the putback. May foul pang Pinito, so he'll have bonus.
Ito, nakita natin yung ginawa. Suspending himself in midair, naipasok niya yung tira. At ito naman ang nangyari kanina. Upshaw on the attack. Nandun yung offensive rebound ni CJ Austria. His first trip to the line in his PBA career.
Austria is actually having a good debut.
That's 7 points now for him.
And he carries himself with
At may depensa.
With a swagger na veterano na eh.
That's true.
Perez.
Look at Perez.
Almost.
Yeah, trying to beat the clock. But just a 2-point lead here for San Miguel. Pero nakapawi na sila. What a way to explode in the third period for San Miguel Beer.
Yep, that was a 44-point quarter para sa San Miguel, and they are up by 2.
Ikaw ba, alam mo ang tap-tap send at gumagamit ka ba ng tap-tap send?
Yes, tap-tap send ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang na.
Before we head into the fourth quarter, balikan natin yung nangyari in the first 3. It was the perimeter points of Blackwater that set the tone in this game, lalong-lalo na ng first half. They actually led by as many as 22 points. Dahil si Robert Upshaw was a perfect 4 from 4 from 4-point range ng first half. Pero yung run naman ng San Miguel in the third quarter, it was powered by their stops and how they were able to convert those into points. Points off turnovers, 19 sa Beermen, dadalawa lang para sa Blackwater. And when it comes to imports, well, lamang pa rin sa scoring, itong si Robert Upshaw actually also leads Benny Boatwright in terms of rebounds. But he has slowed down in the second half. It's been Benny Boatwright who's working with his teammates to erase that big early Blackwater lead.
Exactly, big support para kay Benny Boatwright because not only has he scored over 20 points, 2 other teammates have scored over 20 points. Perez and si Fajardo have both scored 22, so you've got 3 players from San Miguel with at least 20 points. Sorry, missed that for San Miguel, for Blackwater. And again, Benny Boatwright all the way home. It's almost as though he can do whatever he wants on the floor.
Tingnan mo yung third quarter scoring. That really was what changed it. 44 points para sa SMB.
There's a floater coming from Zamar, not there.
That's tapped away by David. Bola pupunta sa SMB. So a
change of referees.
Yeah, very quick stoppage here.
Looks like they're going to review it.
Are they going to review a goaltending violation? Yun lang naman ang nire-review natin din, eh, di ba?
Yes, because it's not the...
An out-of-bounds play, it's not reviewable.
Not unless in the last 2 minutes.
Exactly. Baka shot clock violation yata, may sinasabi si Coach Pat. They're taking a look at that.
You saw Jumar Fajardo flexing his shoulder and his muscles because of the kind of tough defense he's had to play an upshot.
So they say the basket counts. Pero mukhang they will clarify things.
Ladies and gentlemen, upon review, there was a basket interference committed on the 2-point attempt of Cedric Beerfield at the 11-minute and 46-second mark of the fourth quarter. 2 points awarded to Cedric Beerfield. Official score 96 for San Miguel, 94 for Blackwater.
All right, so they count the basket kanina mula kay Beerfield. Ito yung nangyari.
Getting the basket Beerfield down the baseline and slap on the board by Boatwright.
Is FIBA as strict as we call it here in the PBA?
I think so, yeah. They have to be. Here's CJ Osra, one-on-one. Mauutak na nito si Osra. And you know, talking to Coach Patatino, he said that he's got a high basketball IQ. He drove in, trying to goad that foul, but he was looking to pass more than to score.
Malakas kasi katawan ito for a guard eh. Eileen, what's your opinion?
Jotandin, in an effort to regain control of the game, Coach Pat Aquino made sure to reiterate just how important it is to go to their strength. Ika nga niya, I need you to continuously drive to the basket, and for you to get an open lane, I want you to move the ball and attack from the top of the key. While defensively, they have to make sure there will be no mismatch. As they said, bigs have to guard bigs. Back to you.
Paul Samar with a 4-point shot to give Blackwater the lead.
That's incredible. So it's not just Upshaw hitting fours for Blackwater. Si Samar, tumira ng 4, pumasok.
You know, Samar earlier in the conference,
he was 1 out of 2
and
from 4-point distance.
Hindi nga siya nagamit in some of their games. But he stayed ready. Last game against Phoenix in that loss had 14 points. Today, he's come up big again. 12 puntos na yan para kay Paul Z. 2 3-pointers, may isang 4, and he has given Blackwater a 2-point lead.
Coming off the bench. Here's
Boatwright with the response.
By the way, Benny Boatwright's naturalization is in process. And looking the way he's playing, wow, he can be certainly a big boost for Gilas once Justin Brownlee, you know, gives up his position as our key naturalized player. But you know, Brownlee, he has a lot more years to go.
That's a 3-point shot brought to you by Arena Plus Sportsbook. Boatwright sumagot dun sa 4 na bitawan ni Zamar kanina.
What about that matchup of Ross versus Beerfield? Oh, look at that move by Beerfield.
Beautiful layup.
Iniwanan niya dun si Chris Ross, who's a tough defensive guard.
Oh, and it's Cruz finding Fajardo down the lane. Sabi nila, reward your big man. Yun ang ginawa ni Cruz.
And Upshaw's just not able to react. Yung defense niya talaga nagkukulang na against Junmar. And Junmar is just capitalizing.
Maganda yung pagkaka-cage ni Beerfield, pero nagmintis si David on a wide open 3. Ross to Boatwright, looking for 4.
That's a 4. That's a 4. And Benny now with 32 points. Coming close to that 41 points that he scored last time out.
Believe it or not, this is the biggest lead of San Miguel dito sa larong to. David, oh, the separation he created. And he knocks down the 3.
Tinimay siya ni Boatwright. Sabi ni Boatwright, sino nga to? Tiniraan ni David si Boatwright. The lead is 2. It's a shootout here in the 4th period. And Boatwright lost the handle. Bagsak dun si Boatwright. Might be a slick portion.
Christian David with... ito muna yung 4 ni Boatwright earlier. That man now with 29 points. Tapos, yan yung 3 ni Christian David. That gave him 13 points, which is already a confidence high para kay Christian David. 32 na pala para kay Boatwright.
Here's that pick and roll. He will not miss. At that time, there was no challenge. Naiwan sa labas si Junmar Fajardo, and there was no help defense. Upshaw now. Ilan na ba si Upshaw? 34. Points. And remember what we said, his personal career high, 38 points. Is he gonna eclipse that? Check that, 39 points pala ang kanyang career high.
Ganda naman ang galaw. Nakiraan si Boatwright.
Putting on a show, Benny Boatwright.
Blackwater is not going anywhere, but momentum is clearly on the side of the Beermen. Upshaw trying to do something about that.
And also, Boatwright is still playing with a lot of energy.
Barefield off. That's another rebound para kay Boatwright.
By the way, Boatwright has been playing with 4 personal fouls. Blackwater has not done anything to try to get that 5th personal foul on Boatwright.
Cruz. No good. Upshaw ang kukolekta ng rebound. Siya na rin magbababa.
And he's gonna take a 4. Oh.
Might have been a
wide
pass.
open shot here. Offensive rebound, Austria now with 9 points.
Was
The score is tied, by the way.
Was that a pass? Was that a shot? It depends on who you ask.
Sabi ni Upshaw, assist daw yun. And that was clearly a miss. And wala na siyang hangin, ha? Look, he's not reacting on the defensive end. Pinanood lang niya yung tira niyon.
Upshaw. Austria! Nagkampo yung depensa ng San Miguel, and Lassiter was late.
And he's in double figures. This guy's playing in his first PBA game, and he's in double figures.
We're still tied, 109 apiece.
I remember si Dea Quahao for Rain or Shine. His very first game in the PBA with Rain or Shine scored 15 points.
Well, those two, no? Austria and Quahao, both of them proved themselves in the collegiate ranks. Talagang pinapakita lang na handa na pag-akit ng PBA. Here is Austria. The lane open for him. He capitalized. He ties the game up 109 apiece. San Miguel Blackwater.
Ikaw ba, alam mo ang tap-tap send at gumagamit ka ba ng tap-tap send?
Yes, tap-tap send ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang na.
We hope you're enjoying the action sa pagitan ng Blackwater at ng San Miguel. Kung kakatutok nyo pa lang po, well, you missed the part where Blackwater led by as many as 22 points. But it only took the 3rd quarter for San Miguel to erase that, Dean.
Well, San Miguel playing terrific defense in the 3rd period, forcing turnovers and scoring on the break. Itong ginagawa ni Upshaw.
Meron pa naman tayong 6:33 left in the 4th. But just to let you know what happened in their previous game against Phoenix, pumasok si Upshaw in the final quarter carrying a huge scoring total. Pagdating ng 4th quarter ng larong yun, he already had 34 points. But was limited to just 2 in the final frame.
And right now, Merchant 34 points. Here's Marshall last year, as we said. The last 3 games, he's averaged 17 points. What a resurgence for Marshall.
Sabi nila, pag shooter ka, mahaba ang career mo eh. And I think Marshall...
And he also takes very good care of himself.
Yeah, for sure.
His body. Andrade up against CJ Austria.
Oh, there's the strip by Sio. Both right gets it. Perez. To Fajardo inside. Junmar finishes the fast break.
And Upshaw didn't even bother to get back on defense. And Fajardo is just making hay. Upshaw is just not running back and forth.
Bumalik na yung scoring ni Junmar. He was limited in their last 2 games.
Tama. That depends on what the defense gives him. Yung defender niya si Upshaw, hindi na bumababa sa depensa. Here's an outside shot. Andrade tracking it down. Here's Zamar once more.
Not that time. Perez ang kumuha ng board.
A little too early to take those home run shots for Blackwater. The lead is only 3.
Nakakarami na rin nga dito. Both si Junmar and si CJ. Oh, nakaako si Bearfield.
And Bearfield, they have the numbers. It's 3 on 2. Oh, they go for a 3-point shot.
Zamar from the corner. It doesn't fall in.
They had numbers at 3 on 2, but they didn't go for the high percentage shot. That's a high percentage shot, but hindi pupasok yung tira from 3 by Boatwright. 5 minutes to go, the lead is 3.
Upshaw looking at his options.
Is he looking for a 4? No, he's looking for an ally. Bearfield.
Papasok si Bearfield and he's able to get that in.
A lot of contact with that play. No call. The lead is 1.
That's 24 points for Cedric Bearfield. Really trying to keep Blackwater alive. Back inside the Ninoy Aquino Stadium, it's the San Miguel Beermen who hold the slimmest of leads. Isa lang ang lamang nila over the Blackwater Bossing as we take a look at Mr. Stephen Hontiveros, the chairman of the Philippine Olympic Committee. Ito yung magandang matchup na kanina pa natin gustong tutukan. CJ Perez versus Cedric Bearfield.
Grabe nangyayari dito with Perez scoring in transition. Bearfield slashing, going strong to the basket. Both those guys are excellent shot makers, and they're proving themselves dito sa laro. Fajardo over to Perez. That ball moving around na kay Ross. Fajardo gets it back. Ang layo ng defender niya si Upshaw. He's keeping himself close to under the basket.
Lassiter, Ross open on the other side. Masyadong malakas. Blackwater with a golden opportunity to take the lead.
Andrade. Oh,
and he's fouled.
He'll go to the line. That's a tough move coming from Andrade. Nandun yung mga defenders sa San Miguel, pero umatake. Watch it here. CJ Perez called for the foul. That's the 5th foul of Perez.
So it's big. Both napupunta siya sa free throw line. And that CJ picked up his 5th. Andrade ties it up. Mabibigay niya ba yung lamang sa Blackwater? BJ gives Blackwater the lead.
4:13 to go. Andrade now playing defense on Chris Ross.
Imagine, no? It's crunch time. Andrade and Austria, two very young guys on the floor para sa Blackwater. The trust of Coach Pat. CEO! No! Perez! Wala pa rin! Fajardo, gustong iurong. And he's able to get it in.
Just looking for the right space. Hindi na gumagalaw si Apsho. So, for Fajardo, he just looked for an opening.
David answers back!
Oh, that's a three-point play para sa kanya. An opportunity for Christian David.
In his best game of the conference, Christian David has put Blackwater ahead again. May free throw pa siya. And he also, Dean, picks up the 5th foul of Benny Boatwright.
Christian David with 13 points so far. And yes, that is the most he has scored. Make that 14, 15. That's the most he has scored in this conference, but it is the free throw. Blackwater still ahead by 1. This is going to go down to the wire. Not unless there's a big explosion from either side.
And both teams have been drawing fouls. Although that will only be a sideline inbound mula pa sa penalty itong Blackwater. Pangatlong team foul pa lang yan. San Miguel has one last foul to give. We're in for a very exciting finish here.
Fajardo has been a big thorn on the side of Blackwater. Same thing with Boatwright. There's the switch.
Boatwright, tough three.
Missed everything. And they got the 24-second shot clock violation on the switch. Tough closeout to Benny Boatwright, forcing him to miss that shot completely.
3:06 left. Blackwater, they led by 22. Nawala yung lamang na yun. Nakita nila umabante ang San Miguel by 5. But now, the Bossing ahead by 1.
Here's the pick set by Upshaw. Doesn't get the ball back. Oh, all the way home. Bearfield all the way home. Play naman ng Blackwater.
San Miguel will stay patient. Hinahanap nila si Boatwright.
He's looking to score from 3. But there's a foul given up by David. That's a push. Wala pa naman sa penalty ang Blackwater. That'll be the 4th team foul on Blackwater.
It took a little hesitation para kay Bearfield para mawala yung tatlong defender ng San Miguel.
That's a tough act yung ginawa ni Bearfield. Eluding the defense and scoring a high percentage shot of that.
CJ.
He's looking to score. He's looking to drive. Eto na.
Oh! Pinadaan pa sa ilalim ni Upshaw. Bearfield.
That's a 3.
He's turned on take over mode. Cedric Bearfield unconscious here in the 4th. At ihingi ng 30-second timeout ng San Miguel Beermen. In their last game against Phoenix, Cedric Bearfield erupted for 26 in the first half but only had 1 point in the second half. Dito din sinigurado niya na up until the very end, mararamdaman ng Blackwater kung ano yung dala niya.
That's 29 points now for Cedric Bearfield. That is a conference high for him. And so many players from Blackwater showing up big time down the stretch. But San Miguel down by 4. This game is far from over. We're not even in the last 2 minutes.
Ito yung susunod na tatlong laro ng SMB. They got Meralco, Terra Firma, and Phoenix. That's actually the last 3 games for them to close out our elimination round. Currently at 4-4. So crucial yung huling 4 na laro nila. This one included. If Blackwater hangs on to this, San Miguel will be 4-5, and we're just not used to them having played 9 games and have lost 5.
Oh, here's a 4-pointer.
Nothing there.
They get another chance.
They don't need a 4 yet. Mahaba pa to.
There's the pick. And there's a drive. Boatwright will try again. Hindi pumasok.
But the steal by Lassiter.
Here's another
a
attempt.
third try.
Hindi pa rin naman pumasok. Austria securing the rebound. They didn't need a 4. They could have distributed. Ang dami pang oras dito. Oh, look at his phone. Hindi pumasok yung tira ni Beerfield. Andrade with the steal and a bucket.
And Perez will decide to step on the brakes. San Miguel had multiple opportunities pero naghanap sila ng 4. That's still what they're looking for. They're getting their rebounds.
And this time, yeah, he wanted to make sure. Hindi na nakakagalaw si Upshaw. He's giving up a lot of those offensive rebounds. He needs some help. David has to be there to help him out with the rebounding. Beerfield.
Cedric, the man of the moment para sa Blackwater. They're wasting away as much time as they can. David.
Hindi pumasok.
Oh, Andrade with a big board. Beerfield.
Hindi na pumasok. There's another offensive rebound. Andrade with a big offensive rebound.
In the land of giants. Kung saan nandun si Benny Boatwright, kung saan nandun si June Fajardo, it was BJ Andrade who got 2 crucial offensive rebounds and the putback that put Blackwater up by 6. That is the truest form of heart over height. Andrade with 10 points. Austria with 11. Zamar with 12. Din, ito yung hinahanap ng Blackwater all-conference long. Kung saan manggagaling yung puntos outside of their import and Cedric Beerfield.
All about stepping up. Ang daming wala dito sa Blackwater. Wala nga si Dalton Panopio, wala si RK Ilagan, wala si Jet Mendoza. On the other hand, San Miguel, also undermanned. Wala si Trojano, wala si Jerome Teng.
Ito yung sinasabi natin. They average 94.4 per game. Pero 51.9 ang gagaling sa dalawang mama. That's something you can say about them here in this game. Din that ang daming nag-ambag.
Well, Christian Levier with a conference high 15. Andrade with a conference high 12 points. And Zamar with 12 points. Austria playing in his professional debut with 11 points. So ang dami nga nag-contribute. But wait, this game is far from over. 44.2 seconds to go. The lead is 6.
Actually, di 8-man rotation lang yung ginamit ni Coach Pat dito sa laro to. Pero lahat naman ang hinugot niya, malaki ang dinala. Si Una 2 points lang, but he was busy trying to give Benny Boatwright a hard time.
Here's a big possession here for San Miguel. They're looking for Boatwright. But he's giving it up to Marshall Lassiter with the attempt. Hindi na pumasok. And Upshaw with a big rebound.
Oh,
but
they
he
lost it
again.
Lassiter again.
Hindi na naman pumasok. And Benny Boatwright with the offensive rebound. And the putback with a slam dunk. And Upshaw is nowhere around to stop the offensive rebounding ng San Miguel. The lead is 4, 26.4 seconds to go. A huge possession coming up for Blackwater. Ito nakita natin. Yeah. Nasa kanya na yung bola, nawala pa. But Marshall missing. Easy offensive rebound for Benny Boatwright.
However, Dean, that 6 outside shots that San Miguel missed in a row. Tatlo kay Benny Boatwright na 4, isang 4 kay CJ, tapos yung dalawang tinirang 3 ni Lassiter, all misses when they needed those outside shots the most.
Well, kasi mahaba kasi yung yung hinabol nila. that lead was 22 for Blackwater. It took a lot from San Miguel to come back from 22 down, to get the lead, and now to lose the lead once more. So fatigue, you can see it slowly creeping in when San Miguel starts to miss those outside shots.
By the way, the next 3 games para sa Blackwater, Barangay Ginebra ang makakatapat nila. And then the Macau Black Knights also lined up for the Bossing.
And remember, yung Macau coming off a victory against Titan. Big
Nakaisa
possession.
rin, no, yung guest team natin
Tama,
ngayon.
oo. Hindi na sila winless. And for Blackwater, they need to make sure they preserve this possession. 26.4 seconds to go. And naturally, they opt to inbound all the way from the backcourt to take full advantage of the 24-second shot clock.
So they'll pull out Junmar Fajardo for their defensive stint.
Small lineup here on the floor for Coach Leo Austria. And they gave up the foul on Christian David.
That's the last foul to give for San Miguel.
Inbound is very critical here. You want to make sure that the receipt is good. Here's Upshaw. He needs to give up the ball.
Oh, San Miguel gets the steal! Almost! They almost got the steal.
Nawala lang sa pwesto.
Naubusan ng espasyo si Ross at si Perez to save that basketball.
And you know, Upshaw has absolutely no gas left in his tank. He's making poor decisions. Kamontig nang nawala sa kanila yung bola on a bad pass.
Kaya nung nakuha niya yung inbound, di naghahanap agad siya. He was screaming for someone to come take the ball from him.
19.5 seconds to go.
You go back to the finals again. And you remember how CJ Perez hit a 4-point shot and then a 3-point shot.
And this is just a 4-point lead.
And so San Miguel, all they need is a stop to get a chance.
Andrade will be fouled. San Miguel looking to stop the clock.
Earlier in the fourth quarter, si BJ Andrade nagbigay ng lamang sa Blackwater when he knocked down 2 free throws.
The #1 slasher of the PBA is now back on the bench with 6 personal fouls, but Junmar Fajardo's checking back in.
BJ Andrade also got a big putback. He got 2 offensive rebounds. Yung unang in-out niya, nagbintis ulit. Nakuha niya ulit and got the putback, put Blackwater up by 6. Now, he has a chance to do that again, but from the free throw line.
But he missed.
He misses the first. But a free throw here, a make dito sa pangalawa, will still make it a 2-possession game.
And that's very critical. Andrade, 12 points so far.
His biggest game in the PBA.
And he makes it. It's a 5-point lead.
No more CJ Perez para sa San Miguel. Andrade drew his last 2 fouls. Blackwater up by 5. 18.3 seconds to go. Will hang on to the air. San Miguel might actually need a 4-point shot, at least a 3-point shot for in this possession. But if an easy 2 presents itself, then they might go ahead and take it. Basta hindi sila pwede magsayang na masyado maraming oras because it's a 2-possession lead. Blackwater.
Here's CJ Austria with that move to the basket, delivering the goods with 11 points. He's got 6 rebounds and 2 assists. What a professional debut.
That's been the biggest story din no, para sa Blackwater. Kung gaano talaga karami yung nagtulong-tulungan para mabuo tong 125 points.
Now in this situation with a 5-point lead, especially since Upshaw has not been up to par in terms of getting rebounds. But let's see what happens here. Blackwater will try to play straight up defense. San Miguel looking for a 4 or a 3.
Ross for 4. Way off.
And Upshaw claiming the rebound. 5.4 seconds to go. It looks like Blackwater has his in the bag. An unbelievable ending for the Bossing. Had an early 22-point lead, lost it behind a 44-point explosion by San Miguel in the third quarter.
Cedric Beerfield, what a performance din in the fourth quarter para kay Beerfield.
But only 2 points here in this fourth quarter. Again, running out of gas. Looking to score 1 point here to seal the deal. He does. It's a 35-point effort on the part of Upshaw. 5.4 seconds to go. This game is over. Upshaw with a steal.
And that will be it. 126 to 120. Blackwater saw their 22-point lead evaporate. Nakita nilang lumamang ang San Miguel ng 5, but they stayed composed, they stayed in it, they trusted Cedric Beerfield, who delivered them to the promised land.
Oh, unbelievable ending. Beerfield, one of the heroes of Blackwater. Upshaw, of course, with 35 points. And what about Andrade with 13 points? Austria in his professional debut with 11 points. Ang daming sumaporta.
But Cedric Beerfield is eventually the best player of the game. 29 yung ginawa. A near triple-double for him.
We had almost impossible shots in the fourth period.
He also, of course, orchestrated their offense. May 8 assists din yan.
But Upshaw, what a performance by this guy. You got to give it to Cedric Beerfield for what he did in this contest, leading Blackwater to a victory over San Miguel and rewarding Coach Pat Aquino with his first PBA win as a head coach.
There you go, 126-120 is your final score. Pag po kayong lilipat ng channel or aalis sa ating stream, because susunod na Converge versus TNT. Now for my partners, the Dean Quinito Henson, for Eileen Chi, for our incredible production and technical teams, my name is John Tulit. Thanking you for watching the PBA on RPTV, powered by Sports 5.
Cedric, congratulations. I know how big this victory is for you, especially after that third quarter comeback of SMB. Down the stretch, just what worked for you and what are you most proud of how the team came together?
Just staying aggressive, staying together. I think in the past we've kind of folded in those moments, but today we just stepped on the gas, and I mean, that's a championship team right there, so that's the only way that we're going to get over the hump, and today we did that.
What does this victory mean to you? Is there anyone that you'd want to dedicate this victory to?
It means a lot. We haven't had an easy road, a lot of changes, so it means a lot. For me, I dedicate this to my family. I know they're watching, so just hope I'm making them proud.
Thank you, Sed. Let's now hear from Coach Patrick Aquino.
Congratulations, Coach Pat Aquino, on finally getting your first win with the Blackwater Bossing. But looking at the way you managed to close out today's game despite burning what once was a 22-point lead, what for you was the most commendable thing about their game today?
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to God for this win. And then again, that's what we told the boys. Don't stop playing. You know, we continue to play the game. I think the boys did, you know, they did all the things that we needed to win this game. I'm just proud of them, especially this guy. You know, never stop, and for a fact that the percentage of our 3 points went up. That's one thing that we're looking forward, making a little bit of those shots, and you know, and exploit Rob. I mean, Rob is a big guy, should be exploited, and hopefully, you know, more to come on the coming games. More pa. The things that we need to do a lot more. But you know, again, thank you for this game. Hopefully, we could do it one more.
Oras ng balikan yung naging bakbakan ng San Miguel at ng Blackwater. Now, this one started with Cedric Bearfield and Benny Boatwright sharing a nice moment. Pero nung nag-tip off na, syempre wala nang tropa-tropa dyan. It was all war. San Miguel started out with Junmar.
And taking the outside shot, Junmar Fajardo with a perimeter jumper. But Upshaw, I mean, he just went crazy from 4 points.
And we saw the wings flapping early, Dean.
Lumilipat na naman si Upshaw.
4 of 4 siya from 4-point range in the first half. So we'll see more from that later on. Benny Boatwright tried to get going. Ayaw mahulog ng mga tira niya sa labas eh. Kaya dumikdik na lang siya sa ilalim.
That time he got the shot from close distance. But si Upshaw, he would not be denied his shots from deep. This time he will take it from 3. Look at that step back. And the turnaround.
My goodness.
Pumasok!
Hindi talaga mapigilan si Upshaw in the first half.
And that was a 36-point first quarter by Blackwater.
And then in the second quarter, lalo pang lalaki ang laman ng Blackwater because they would continue to do things. Ito muna, Tautua.
That's a 3.
Yeah, he earned the respect of Upshaw with that 3.
But Upshaw would continue to wax hot from 4. Ito, napasahan siya. Tumira na naman at pumasok. And that's not all. He's gonna come back with another 4-pointer. Ito, slow to get back on offense, but he had all day long to hit that shot. Pumanda pa!
Oh my! Well, that was the story for Blackwater. That's how they built a lead as big as 22 points. Now towards the end of the second quarter, Benny Boatwright, medyo nahanap na rin yung tira niya. He started to knock down 3-pointers like that, but it was still a commanding lead para sa Blackwater. They were up by 15 at the half. Now that changed pagpasok ng third quarter.
Well, in the third quarter, CJ Perez, he got the 5,000 career point award. That distinction, very rare, but certainly well-deserved and well-earned for CJ Perez. Ito na sinasabi natin. That 44-point explosion by San Miguel. They went crazy in transition. Maganda yung depensa nila that opened opportunities na tumakbo. CJ Perez leading the charge.
Yup, and every time tatakbo ang San Miguel, kadalasan si Perez ang tatapos. He had 14 points in the third quarter. Si Junmar Fajardo also had 14 in that quarter.
The Predator, he's playing like a greyhound. And Perez, he was doing everything here in the third quarter, including that impossible shot over Upshaw. Ito, makita natin, suspending himself in midair.
Pinakita muna sa kaliwa bago pinasok sa kanan. And San Miguel, after being down by 22, they were able to take a 2-point lead entering the fourth. But Blackwater with 2.5, lumamang na ng 3. Perez kept San Miguel in it.
And this was a crazy fourth quarter. And the lead was going back and forth. Bearfield, he's going to be scoring here. That jumper.
Bearfield talaga had that masterful fourth quarter.
Watch it here once more. That's a 3 coming from Bearfield. Got himself open at si Boatwright. Babawi naman. And take another look from a different angle on that 3-point connection by Bearfield. And that shot was challenged by Boatwright.
Ang bigat din ng mga binitawang tira ni Bearfield in this game.
Mapapanood natin. Back-to-back baskets dito coming from Benny Boatwright, and that was a two-handed slam dunk. But who can stop him?
Yeah, but what we did see here was they had to eventually go for these 2-point shots dahil ayaw pumasok ng mga tres. And then look at BJ Andrade. Nakuha niya yung unang offensive rebound. Nakuha niya pa yung pangalawa. And he got that put back.
Boy, that performance of BJ Andrade. It's something that is worth cheering as far as the Blackwater team is concerned. And here's that miss. And then the big rebound by Upshaw, but he lost it. Another miss coming from Marshall. And then a two-handed slam dunk. Galing kay Boatwright.
You know what? Kung pumasok kahit isa dun sa mga tira sa labas ng San Miguel.
It would have been a different ending.
Exactly.
At yung attempt, nawala na, nakuha ni Upshaw. He will be fouled. He'll go to the line for 1 out of 2 free throws.
As San Miguel missed their last 8 attempts from both 4 points and 3 points.
Just an unbelievable ending, and certainly very dramatic. And, you know, we've had a series of upsets now in the PBA. Nanalo yung Macau, nanalo yung Phoenix over the undefeated Reina Shine. Now book another upset as Blackwater has handed San Miguel a setback.
Yep, and it was Upshaw finishing with 35, Bearfield with 29, as Blackwater took it 126-120 over San Miguel. That will do it for us, for my partners, the Dean Quinito Henson, para rin po kay Miss Eileen Shi, at para sa aming incredible technical teams and production teams. Ako po si Jot Sulit, nagpapasalamat sa patuloy ninyong pagsuporta at panonood ng PBA on RBTV, powered by Sports 5. Don't go anywhere, susunod na Converge versus TNT.